Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Reetz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue, through the silence and the roar. Still blue, even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Thank you once again. Thank you for finding the time to be with me for another edition of Chelsea News Roundup Show. I do hope you're all doing well. Are you still celebrating? As for me, I am still celebrating, and I will be celebrating until it clocks 4 years when that badge will be taken, or crest maybe will be taken off our kit. But until then, I will never stop celebrating because that wasn't an easy fit. But that's by the way, we do have quite a few news items that are lined up to talk about. We will talk about Xavi, Simons, Morgan, Rogers, a possible beat of a Jorrel Hato, Jackson's future Christopher Nkunku, Armando Broja, and a whole lot of other stuff. But more importantly, I'm going back to it again. I am still celebrating. And I've heard people say, when are you going to stop celebrating or something to the effect of, it's just a Club World Cup? It is not. It simply means winning it means that we are the best club in the world, at least for 4 years from the day we won the trophy. So I don't care what anybody thinks. I will keep celebrating. And I've had discussions with some of our senior members. We will do um, the celebration, the kit giveaway during the pre-game show for our first game of the coming season to maybe reignite the celebration for those of you who, for some reason or the other, have forgotten to continue celebrating or stop celebrating. But that's by the way. Thank you to all of you, and thank you once again for finding the time to join me for another edition of Chelsea's News Roundup show. Thank you. The first item, Noni Madueke completes his move to Arsenal. But before we do that, usually customary, it's our tradition to say hello to those of you that are in the chat there. First person, and first thing, I connected with the Texas-based content creators group, and I like what they're doing. Exchanged a few messages on X and Instagram, and their video on our win against PSG is different. It's something different, detailed, conversational, but very delicious overall. And my friends, and I urge you, our community members, to go check it out. I think you will not regret it, and you will thank me later. The link is pinned at the very top. I think you should go check it out. Up big to you, Ty. Big up to you, and thank you for finding the time to join me this evening. I do hope you're doing well. It is 5:14 p.m. CST. Yeah. Some of you I know should be in bed, but don't worry. All our shows, the Blue Morning Show, the Chelsea Roundup Show, will all come back. But we're looking to bring on more talent on board to make everything easier. Big up to you to Shay Wendy Williams, the lady of the house. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this. So the first item, Noni Madueke has completed his move to Arsenal, and in all honesty, I wouldn't call him a snake. I think a lot of Chelsea fans have added him to that category of our former players. I don't think it'd be. I think that's. I don't think it's okay, in my opinion. But we all see things from different lenses, and they are entitled to their respective opinions. I think, given what I've read so far, his departure or his decision to join Arsenal, you could argue, was driven mainly um, by, you can say, by a family reason, for lack of a more relatable or correct language there. But good luck to him. And listen, I've always known that we can do better than him. At the same time, I did at the time believe that, yeah, room for improvement, and chances are he'd improve and become one of our best players. But he didn't perform consistently. Chances are he's leaving because he fears competition, and he's not too sure to be starting week in, week out, given the arrival of some of talents that you can argue are much better equipped to play the way the manager wants to play than he does. But good luck to him, honestly. And I read his farewell message. Classy. He was appreciative of what you can say he learned from the manager and the experience of being a Chelsea player. I appreciate that. I don't think it's right to put him in that category of players called snakes, given the way they left Chelsea. I wouldn't go to that extent, irrespective of the reason why he left. You could say that particular farewell message from me comes across as heartfelt. It's not just something he did for the sake of the fact that he had to do one. He attached the video, the Chelsea's introduction video, announcement video to it. So and you need to go see it yourself. So good luck to Noni Madueke. For me, I've always known we can do better than him, and at the same time, I was willing to give him the time to do what you could call a self reflection and note areas where he had to improve at the time to become a better player. But let's see how he does at Arsenal. And I wouldn't say I wish he doesn't do well. Part of me wants to say that, but I don't think he'd be okay. Here's the thing. I'm just going to stick with the fact that every time they sign a player from Chelsea, they don't win anything. They hardly do, honestly. But despite the way, big up to you once again, Ty. A big up to Wendy Williams, and up big. Iani, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. You're copying Ty right there. But keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. 3 likes, and we have 32 people following the show. I think we can do a lot better than that. And because we're streaming in a vertical format, here's what you do. Press and hold your screen for just about a second to see the bells and whistles, which includes the like, comment, and share options. Yep, we still do beg for likes. Shamelessly. But the likes, anyway, do go a long way. It triggers the YouTube algorithm, which in turn pushes the stream to more people who'd be interested in the topics we have lined up here. I don't want to start reading the comments below this report about Madueke's departure, but I think it makes sense to read some of the comments from pundits, former footballers, and alike. This is from who? Let's see. Um, okay, the Athletic. Despite Maresca's assertion, Madueke never asked to leave, and we didn't push him out either. Never asked to leave last year when he was aware they were open to moving him on. I don't know how you conclude that the club is open to moving a player on. I think that's just a speculation driven by some, you could say, what's the language I'm looking for? By some obvious circumstances surrounding a player or at a club, you can make sense. You can conclude that certain possibilities, certain things might happen, just as the imminent at the time arrival of Esther William, Giovanni Coenda, and other players, and maybe what the outlet, the news outlet, what they were hearing then from all from reports that were emerging with regards to his future. It was easy to conclude that, yeah, Chelsea are open to selling him because, yeah, he wasn't performing consistently. Also, more importantly, and that makes it believable when you release such or when you make up such thing for like a more specific language there. So I don't think it makes sense to just conclude that the club were open to selling him. No, but again, we're all entitled to our respective opinions. And this year, Madueke, another report, Madueke and Maresca had a positive relationship to an extent that at some point, I thought he was undroppable because even when he wasn't doing well, the manager left him on the pitch, which at the time a majority of Chelsea fans did interpret as a manager liking him too much, and some to the extent of calling him Maresca's son, because that was the time I wanted Tariq George to be starting over him. But yeah, so but Maduke believes he made him a better, more mature player. At least that's him appreciating what he learned from the manager, irrespective of what anybody thinks about his departure. And once again, I'm going to make this clear. I wouldn't go to the extent of calling him a snake. No. This is business. Football is business for all parties involved. He wants what's best for him. The club wants what's best for the club. So I don't think it makes sense to just call him a snake. And you should go maybe read his farewell message. I think that would change how you perceive his departure. Chelsea have been open to offers for Madueke this summer, as they were 12 months earlier. He has occasional disciplinary issues at Stamford Bridge, he left. He one he the one that went clubbing. Was it after we arrived for the Club World Cup? But I don't want to get into that. He's gone, and that's it. And I've always believed that we can do better than him. Uh, all right, Madueke has long had admirers among Arsenal's coaching staff, including Arteta. In previous summer, former sporting director Edu and the recruitment department had reservations over any prospective deal, but with Berta, the former Atletico, well, I can't quite remember what he did for them. Now at the helm, there is a new dynamic. Okay, I hope he again. I don't want to say whether I hope he does well or fails. And okay, Noni Madueke on Arsenal move. I am really happy and really proud. So it's a great moment for me. It's great to go back home. Pay attention to that aspect of his his message after signing for Arsenal. It's great to go back home. So Arsenal is home for him. Be with my mom, my dad. I know my mom misses me in the house. So if you read this, I think this alone, if you're a sensible person, this part of his can his comment after joining Arsenal clearly indicates that, yeah, his move to Arsenal, you could argue, was mainly driven by family reasons, or for lack of a more relatable language there. But I'm happy for him that he's going to get to see his mom every day. But is he going to get to win a trophies? I don't know. We'll find out. So for him to have said this and not maybe now and not say something to the effect of now you see the best of me, the best version of me, just like Raheem Sterling did, or something like he's joining the biggest club in London. No, he's a smart guy, and good luck to him. Honestly, part of me wants to say I hope he does go, but at the same time, I just can't. I just want him. I think I just stick with saying good luck to him. Honestly. Yeah, thank you for that. AB, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Once again, I am still celebrating. And if you don't like the fact that I'm still celebrating, suck it up or stick it from your behind into your body. I don't care what you think. If it's easy, go get one. The trophy is so beautiful that it even has a key. Show me a much better trophy, and yeah, you win. But there's none, honestly. Um, all right, this is Azo Ali. Hello, man. Do you know who's coming to Chelsea for sure this season? I can give you one name, and that name, I'd say at the moment, I think certainly we're getting Jorrel Hato, and that's because he plays in an area of priority for us. The left back slash left center back, because he's a versatile player. The season before the just concluded season, he played entirely the entirety of the season as a centre back. Then the just concluded season, he operated as a left back mainly. So I think he's a perfect fit to the sort of profile we're looking for. I think Jorrel Hato certainly. Whether we end up signing one more attacking player, whether Morgan Rogers or Xavi Simmons, I honestly do not know. But it's a huge, the possibility is there, given what transfer guru himself, Fabrizio Romano, what he said a few days ago, that we're looking to sign one more player. But if Nicolas Jackson, one more attacking player, defensive player, certainly. But if Nicolas Jackson ends up leaving and Nkunku follows, or if both Nick Jackson and Nkunku leave, or even one of them ends up leaving, then definitely we'll sign him one more attacking player. But I can say for sure my belief. I wouldn't say certainly that I think Jorrel Hato or Hato. I'm not sure the correct way to pronounce his last name. Joining Chelsea Football Club. But as well, Ali, thank you for the question. And it looks like this is the first time I'm seeing your comment here, and you are you're a Chelsea fan. Welcome, feel at home, express yourself. All we ask of you is to keep it civil. Here, your opinion matters, and so we appreciate you. Flamengo is the best team in Brazil, possibly. But let's stick with what we are. What Chelsea, what we are. We're the best team in the world right now. And I'm sticking with that. Okay. According to Mikel Arteta, Noni is an exciting, powerful young player. With his performances and numbers in recent seasons being of a consistently high quality, he is one of the most talented wide forward players in the Premier League. Okay, so they signed Noni Madueke. I hope he does. I hope he can. Good luck to him. I'm just going to stick with that. We cannot place a 19-year-old Hato behind a performing 27-year-old Cucurella. He still starts. He will start sulking just like Viega. I think Viega's case is Viega's case is a bit different. Uh, because Viega, we signed him as a left back. Everybody knew at the time that we were signing him as a left back. Then he came to Chelsea, and the left back, you could argue, the manager Enzo Maresca sees him as a left back and only gave him opportunities as a left back and one time as a center back, and then on two occasions maybe as a defensive midfielder because he can fulfill the defensive midfield role, has good passing range, can be aggressive, can read the game well enough to break up opposition play. But there weren't too many opportunities for him in the center back area, even in the midfield area as one of the 2-6s, because we often deploy 2-6s irrespective of the application. He had to leave the club to go play consistently in a position where he'd get a chance to play. That you could say he'd be assured of a place in the Portuguese national team, which is the only place I've seen him play for the Portuguese national team. So he was looking out for himself. But I don't know. I don't think in Hato or Hato's case, I think, no, Hato will be different. He will be different because there will be rotation. And Cucurella, we don't want to burn him out. I think we risk him getting injured and being out for a while. For me, no, I think we need them. We don't want a backup. We want competition. And you could argue that Hato, for me, good enough to compete with Cucurella. Maybe not immediately. Maybe it will take a while because, before he becomes a real competition to Cucurella. So, but let's see what happens. I mean, you could be right, but I don't think that'd be much of an issue. And as Ali says, I don't know him. He's coming from which team? Ajax. Yeah, and he's a good player. You need to look him up yourself and see how good he is. So, sorry, did I switch the tab? Okay, the second tab is here. I don't think there's anything else to read about Noni Madueke. Some comments there. We'll come back to this in a bit. Yeah, congratulations, Noni. Dream move for him, apparently. So good luck. And I'm going to stick with good luck. I don't want to say I hope he does well because he's playing. He'd be playing for one of our biggest rivals in the coming season. So Chelsea and Arsenal among clubs attentive to Xavi Simons. Siemens, it's pronounced Siemens, not Simons, right? And please, to one again, if you're a member of the community, I think Fabrizio just released a video where he talks about Rodrigo's decision. If you can watch it and get back to us on what he said, I'd really appreciate that. So Chelsea and Arsenal among clubs attentive to Xavi Siemens' situation this summer. He's a player I like, but here's the thing: there's a bit of confusion here. A lot of Chelsea fans want him. Some a lot also want this guy, Morgan Rogers. I really do like Rogers. The question now is, it depends on how you see them. What position you see you think they play, and how you compare their profiles. But I'm sticking with which of them do we want? I don't think we want both. I think probably either one or the other. And if we're looking for a pure winger, then I say get Simmons. So, but I'm not sure. I really like him. I like Rogers also. But if it had to be one of them, because what we've been told is that we're looking to sign one more attacking player, not specific whether a winger or maybe a traditional or more of again a number 10. I'm not too sure. Chelsea retain an interest in Morgan Rogers if a transfer from Aston Villa becomes possible. So this is not saying certainly it will. Again, we retain interest, but Aston Villa at the moment, they're not looking to sell the player. They want to keep him, but for the FFP or PSR for PSR reasons, chances are they'd be forced to sell him and balance the books, and then have whatever they have left to look for a replacement. Um, so let's see, how do they compare? Because I've seen people talk about how they'd rather Rogers over Siemens. Some are saying they'd rather Siemens over Rogers. So let's see how they compare. Um, so this is in pink we have Xavi Siemens. In blue we have is that blue? I colorblind? Okay. Rogers. So Xavi Simmons way better in terms of non-penalty goals. Dribbles, Rogers a better dribbler. Ball carrying, Xavi Simmons a lot more than Rogers. Crosses, you can say not that much of a disparity in terms of Simmons' output to Rogers' output. Pretty, you could say a little bit. Not the disparity isn't too much in terms of key passes. A lot more from Rogers, and Rogers can actually operate as a 10. A lot more from Rogers than Siemens. In terms of assists, pretty much equal. So either one, I'd be okay with either. But honestly, if I have to choose, I'd choose Siemens. But that's just me. So if you're watching, let's hear your thoughts. But let's see what Chelsea fans did. Again, you can say divide. They're divided. A lot A large number wants the club to move for Xavi Simons, and this reads Chelsea and Arsenal are in the race, which means it's on. Actually, we're pushing to sign him, but in the case of Rodgers, we're waiting to see if Arsenal they're willing to sell the player. Chelsea and Arsenal are in the race to sign Xavi Simons. Chelsea see the Siemens as a potential replacement for Nkunku. It is understood suitors are hoping to agree a fee of £56 million. Not bad for me. I've heard something on. I read somebody on X did say something about his behavior, or was it? I think it was on Instagram. That was actually Kimso, and that's the first time I'm hearing anything with regards to his behavior. I'm not sure. Let me see if I see anything with regards to his behavior here. Nothing, honestly. But Kimso, yeah. So, but the both, I don't know. I would take Xavi Simmons because he can play on the flanks too, can fulfill the number 10 role effectively. Same thing for Rogers. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know if I've seen Morgan Rogers play on the flanks. But Xavi Simons, you can say he's very, very good at fulfilling the number 10 role. Can also play on the flanks too. But here's the thing. For me, I'd take him over Rogers. But some are arguing because Rogers has a Premier League experience, so it would be better off going for Rogers. But here's it. Non penalty. Siemens gets more goals. Rogers a better dribbler. Not necessarily a better dribbler. I don't know, but the disparity isn't there. Ball carrying more from Siemens. Ball carrying, I like that. I think that will help deal with low blocks in so many ways. Cross is a lot more, not a lot more, more from. Let me just stick with more from Siemens. Cross is more from Rogers. Both are good at fulfilling the number 10 role and can also play on the flanks too, which is we've made that a priority when looking for attacking players these days. You'd have to be able to play across all front three positions, central area, and then on either flanks. Maduke to Arsenal, a good trade. I would say, yeah, we got good money. I forgot how much we paid for him. Was it 25? I can't quite remember. So good trade, in my opinion. I wouldn't. You can if we had the opportunity to sell him to a foreign, non-domestic club, would have preferred that. But I don't think we had that opportunity. It was just Arsenal. There weren't too many clubs interested in signing him, and Arsenal we got paid a lot of money, actually, nearly twice as much as how much we paid for him. So Xavi Simons or Morgan Rogers, I would take Xavi Simons. But um, if I don't usually prioritize Premier League experience, but it's a factor that you again we should take seriously. It does reduce the measure of risk. You said the sort of risk that new signings carry. Adaptation period, you could say, reduces significantly if the player had already played in the Premier League. So I think that's where Rogers where he has an edge over Siemens, plus his relationship with Cole Palmer and all the Manchester City Academy players. And these two, they're more of traditional tens than all the players we have right now. They're better at, you could say that's their you can say primary role is fulfilling the number 10 role. So maybe contrary to what I've always believed, yeah, it's an area of priority for us because I don't really think we have a traditional 10. I get it, Cole Palmer is able to fulfill that role, but for me, I'm one of those that believe it's actually better off given deployed on the flanks. But you're not too sure. Cole Palmer is able to play even from as a deep line playmaker, as a 10 on the left, on the right, and as a hybrid number 9. So, but I'd rather Xavi Simons, but that's just me. Either if we end up signing Rogers over Simmons, I'm good with it. That's just me. 52 million, yeah, good money. That's a lot of money, honestly. For Arsenal, I think it's good. Okay, let's see. That may well be the case. But I've always believed that yeah, that we could actually do better than Noni Madueke when he was still with us. And I've always talked about what he needed to do to become a much better player, which at the time I simplified as he needs to be a little less selfish and a little more selfless to become a better player. And I'd have to add one more thing that Dante always talks about whenever he's on the panel here. He needs to start looking up whenever he's on the ball and deciding what to do with the ball quickly. To a certain extent, I mean, it could go either way. At this point, there's no telling how it pans out. Yeah, until he starts playing for them, it could go either way. He chances are he'd end up becoming one of the best wingers in world football. Chances are, yeah, it could go either way. But I just stick with good luck, honestly. Um, Simmons is coming from Leipzig. Yep, a former 22-year-old PSG a player, attacking midfielder. Yep, gives a bit of Eden Hazard vibes for me. And I'm not sure why one person actually on Kimso on Instagram did say something to the effect of he has attitude issues. I'm not sure why he said that. I haven't heard anything. I've researched. I haven't seen anything to that effect. So Simmons, yeah, I wouldn't mind Simmons over Rogers, but at the same time, some people would rather we sign Rogers over Simmons given his Premier League experience, and both actually are capable of playing on the flanks too. And we do play with a fluid approach. None of our attacking players are static. They're able to play on the flanks, and they switch places all the time, which makes it a very difficult to defend against us. So it doesn't really matter. But in the two players in Rogers or Siemens, you'd get a more traditional 10 than the players we currently have at the club. All right, more likes, people, more likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. 10 likes, we can do a lot better than that. And we still have 49 people following the show on YouTube. A total of 129, 49 on YouTube. The rest are shared between X and Facebook, whether equally, I do not know. I think 10 players, yeah, around that number, or even more, actually. Off the bat, let's go. Connie Chukwemeka, um, yeah, Amanda Broya, Axel the Sisi, João Felix, Christopher Nkunku is on that list. Alfie Gilchrist. Am I missing any? Ben Chilwell, that's 7. Who else? Maybe around 10, since I'm finding it difficult getting to counting 10 of them. Let's see. Maduke, good player. I think it's not Arsenal player. I think it's Germany. I think in Germany, I think he will cook. Yeah, in Germany, he'd emerge as a player of the season by the time the season ends. But I don't know. It's just lack of consistency from him. There's a good player in there. Whether we'd see again, let's see how it pans out. I'm just gonna leave it at good luck because yeah, he's joining a rival club. So Xavi Simon, according to this particular report, we are in the race to sign Xavi Simons. Yep, Chelsea and Arsenal are in the race to sign Xavi Simons. Chelsea sees Simmons as a potential replacement for Nkunku. It's understood suitors are hoping to agree, and for 56 million pounds, I don't think 56 million pounds isn't a bad deal for a player as good as Xavi Simmons. He gets you goals too, creates for his teammates. I like him really, but there are Chelsea fans that don't see it that way. They see it differently, which is good. All right, you too. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you've already liked the video. Sincerely, do appreciate that. And Ben Jacobs, I think I trust him honestly. Morgan Rogers, nothing concrete at this point. Aston Villa, they're not looking to sell, but chances are they'd be forced to do so for FFP or PSR reasons. All right, this is let's this evening really. What time? That was like around an hour ago. So this particular report reads: Chelsea are ready to offer players like Nicolas Jackson to Aston Villa in a swap deal for Morgan Rogers. That's interesting. I think this sort of news report in it on its own enough to actually unsettle Nicolas Jackson and make him to want to leave, even if it doesn't want to. He's a human being after all. But my goodness, he won't go away. It just seems as if eventually he'd end up leaving Chelsea. Unfortunately. But whether to trust Graham Bailey, I don't know. But one thing I have to make clear here, I don't think we're looking to sign both Morgan Rogers and Xavi Simons, except if we lose both Nicolas Jackson and Christopher Nkunku, then chances are we'd sign both. Yeah, but I don't know Nicolas Jackson. It just isn't it isn't going away. It's not going away. So, but I would take Morgan Rogers over Nicolas Jackson. If that's gonna, if again, I wouldn't mind that because we have Liam Delap and we have the Brazilian international in João Pedro. So I don't think swapping Nicolas Jackson for Morgan Rogers, who's more of a traditional 10 than a winger, I don't think it'd be a bad idea. I would welcome that. But again, this is they say that there's no smoke without fire. So something is definitely um, going on. This has refused to go away. And again, this is enough to actually unsettle Nicholas Jackson, unfortunately. But that's not my opinion anyway. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the stream. It is 5:46 p.m. CST, and the poll that asks the question, "Who was your man of the match versus PSG?" 76% says Cole Palmer, 7% João Pedro, 17% Maresca. Tactical master class. Chaloba zero out of how many? 29 votes. Nobody picked Chaloba as man of the match, but he was good on the day. He was excellent actually. He did very well. Recovered quickly. Last ditch tackle you could call. You too, man. Let's see. We won finally. Noni gone and. I'm not celebrating here. I'm not going to celebrate his departure, even though I knew before he left us that yeah, we could do better than him. I don't think it's okay to celebrate his departure. I've always known we that. Just I'm just going to leave it at that. But we have Bobby in the house. Bobby, big up and thank you for joining us. These are the items we've discussed already. Noni Madueke joining Arsenal. His comment. It reflected the fact that family is one of the main reasons why he chose to leave Chelsea. We talked about Xavi Simons. This particular report reads that Chelsea and Arsenal are among clubs attentive to Xavi Simons' situation. This one here, a bit different, and the other one quoting Fabrizio Romano, the transfer guru himself, but this one quotes Ben Jacobs and Alex Crook. And he reads Chelsea and Arsenal are in the race, which means we're actively trying to sign him. That's how I interpret that. In the race to sign Xavi Simons, Chelsea sees Simons as a potential replacement for Nkunku. It is understood suitors are hoping to agree. That aspect don't really matter. But saying that we're in the race to sign him, and at the same time, in the same report, we have this, which reads Chelsea sees Simmons as a potential replacement for Nkunku, but Nkunku is still a Chelsea player. So I'm not sure how to make of this report. So after that, we talked about Morgan Rogers. That Chelsea retain interest in Morgan Rogers if a transfer from Aston Villa becomes possible. And this one here, also an hour ago, Chelsea are ready to offer players like Nicolas Jackson to Aston Villa in a swap deal for Morgan Rogers. I think that's where we were before you joined. But let's hear you, Bobby. Where do you want to comment? And thank you for joining us. More importantly, I do hope you're doing well.
Yeah, big up, coach.
Big up to you too.
Uh, yeah, you know, the fact that the club is so quiet just tells me that they're moving different. And all these rumors, we get them anyway in the transfer window, but
Silly
I don't
season,
think it
right?
has, well, a little bit of that, but this is fan stuff.
Hmm.
I think all these rumors is just fans. They're just coming out with stories, and I don't see the club moving the way they're all thinking the club's going to move.
Hmm.
I've been seeing this. Don't be surprised if Nkunku stays. Um, there's no real incentive for him to go anywhere. People are saying, no, he's going to go to Bayern and he's not going to be a starter there, if that's the issue. But, I'm not saying that the deal can't happen, but he's on big wages. He's going to cost some money because he's got, I think, 2.5 years contract. And maybe more. I think 3 years left of contract. So I don't think the club's moving the way the fans are moving. They're coming up with all this nonsense about, oh, I even heard some content creator even talking about Enzo. That's not happening. Um, I don't really know. I really don't know. I think we're in a comfortable position where we're not desperate to make signings. The only pressured signing we have is the left back, which I believe that we are looking at that position, and I'm hoping it's Hato. From what I've seen of him, I can't say I know him that well, but from what I've seen of him, he fits our profile. Other than that, we seem very comfortable, and I don't think the club is rushed, unless there is a opportunity. Let's put it that way. You might be surprised. We'll go through the entire transfer window with just one purchase at left back. That's what I'm suspecting.
I looked for a report that said something to the effect of that we've already put in a bid for Jorrel Hato, or preparing for one. I don't know how I missed it, but go ahead. I think Hato or Hato, apologies if I'm butchering the last name. I think he definitely joins Chelsea because we've been there. We've been in conversation. Um, Again, we've been in pursuit of him for a while now, and I think that's only viable option in my opinion, and I like him really. I wouldn't mind us assigning him. But go ahead, what you were saying.
Yeah, I've said it. Um, it looks that way. You never know until you see the player holding up a shirt and taking a picture pretending to sign a contract he's signed already.
Hmm.
But that is the one I think has legs. Anything else is just fan speculation, fan talk. I'm not sure we'll do anything else because we don't look, as I said, we're in a comfortable position. We don't look rushed or hurried, desperate to sell. Certainly not the first team players. The players that we will look to sell are the outliers. Your Sterlings and Chilwells and Chukwuemeka's and anybody that's not really in the squad. Renato Vega. And Vega, I think, may have shot himself seriously in the foot because nobody seems to be coming in for him.
I think
So
there are buying probably what's carrying them away is valuation of the player, and our new owners they're not known to sell players for cheap for chicken change.
and and neither should they.
No,
And
we
what's the
shouldn't. Yeah,
valuation?
because you
I'm
can
not sure.
argue joining Chelsea
Is
alone elevates the status players.
Yeah,
So if we don't get a good enough money from their sales, then we're letting ourselves be we're letting the players use our club as a stepping stone. You know,
well, I don't think we're trying to sell him for an expensive amount.
but probably
I'm not.
nearly twice as much as the amount we paid for him. That's one thing the
That
owners are
doesn't
good at.
matter. Everybody does that. Look what they do with Gyökeres, and that's not the issue. The issue is his current value, and his current value in a market that doesn't have many centre backs, and a player that we turned into an international starter. Um, I don't think we're asking too much.
All right, more likes, people, more likes. We still have 51 people following the show, and we're stuck in 13 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that. Please, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the video. The likes do go a long way, and we appreciate that. I don't know him. I think we've talked about that. Maduke is good. We've talked about all these. We've highlighted and discussed all these comments there. I think okay. I see Maduke a good player, but okay, we've addressed that one too. You too. What else do we have here? And these rugged Frankie, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation this evening. Just joining what's the topic of discussion. Currently, we're talking about would be a better signing for us, Morgan Rogers or Xavi Simons, both capable of fulfilling the 10 role and playing on either flanks, but as versatile as our current manager wants it. Both are very versatile players, and we've compared their output for the just concluded season. But you could say, yeah, Xavi Simons finished the season with better output, in my opinion. Not in my opinion, actually. We did look at the numbers, but both are good players, and with either, I'd be okay with. But if I have to choose, I'd say Getnish Simmons for reasons I've explained. Let's see, every profile I have read, and my Middlesbrough and Aston Villa friends, I agree. Rogers is an attacking midfielder, yeah, but can also play on the flanks. So not sure why Nicolas Jackson will be wanting to move away. Listen, pay attention. He's human. If he's human, if you feel, let me just say this. I'm speculating, of course. I don't work for Chelsea, and I don't see them on the training pitch. There's something. Cole Palmer seems to be developing, you could say, some sort of bromance with João Pedro, and he had that with Jackson. Humans naturally are naturally known to be naturally jealous. Something like that are for me enough to settle a player, even if we're not talking about footballers. In real life, in your vocation, whatever you do as a can such thing can lead to jealous or you wanting to move away from where you don't feel like you're wanted anymore. I get it; these are professional footballers, but I think the example I use is relatable because it has to do with an emotional aspect of us as humans. That's how I see it. These are things a lot of people don't take seriously, but are enough to actually cause someone to want to change environment. But that's my opinion anyway. I'm not saying certainly that's the case. That's what I'm suspecting is the case. Will eventually become the case. If he chooses to leave, I don't think it'd be because of competition. He doesn't look like he fears competition, but because probably he feels unwanted, given fans' sentiment, and plus the dynamics
Coach,
of the dressing room changing.
coach,
Yeah.
2 points. One, what do you want Palmer to do? To cold shoulder João Pedro
No, I
after
don't want so. I don't want that
exactly.
to happen. It's a
You
good
know,
thing.
this
I'm
is
just
all.
saying people can misread
This is
situations. But go ahead.
this is all speculation.
Yeah.
João Pedro scored great goals. He linked up with Palmer. Of course, Palmer is going to go and embrace him. He's a teammate. He embraces everybody. The first one. The second one is we are all assuming that Jackson's unhappy. Look, we didn't tell Jackson to get a yellow card, a red card against Newcastle. Neither did we tell him to get a red card in the Club World Cup. That was all he's doing. Now, the club isn't going to, after you've let down the team so badly, suddenly give you this Oracle pride of place thing. You have to earn it back. And I
Hmm.
think Jackson's aware of that. I think fans are making more of this situation than actually is. It's just my opinion. Yes, it's off season, so we need to create something. But I think this is wide the mark, honestly, from my personal opinion. Sorry, football is a team sport, and you have a team full of highly talented players. Um, I don't think he's feeling pushed out because of his
I mean,
uh,
being pushed out
absence.
is a bit of an overstatement. The club has made it clear they're not looking to sell him.
Exactly. I think that's enough. I don't think they are looking to sell it unless an opportunity, that word that the club like to use, comes about, and that opportunity must be really worth having. Yeah, if there was a situation with Morgan Rogers, I think the club will rate Rogers more than Xavi Simmons, simply because Rogers is Premier League proven, and Simmons has been playing in the Bundesliga, which you and I both know. Big players haven't really come to Chelsea and ripped up trees. So I have my doubts about that. But
Yeah.
as for Jackson,
Mhm.
he's not shut out. He's more than capable. I mean, this is a big opportunity for him, if you ask me. Now he's got the competition he needs, and now he needs to work on his finishing. I was just talking to somebody today about Jackson, and I said, "Look, Jackson, if Jackson could finish his dinner, he'd be a monster
That's the only
because
thing. Finish his dinner and finish his dinner consistently. That's the only two things. And
he's
start to
got the
that.
chance to work on it."
Yeah, exactly. Like we've talked about Bobby. Remember, we've always discussed Jackson again
Excuse me.
in a multiple lengthy conversations where I think he needs to learn to shoot instinctively and not hesitate. As a number nine, the slightest of hesitation could lead to you missing an opportunity or an opposition player. You could say closing you down and cutting up the space for you to shoot. Bobby, just give me a few seconds. Let me catch up with what we have, and then we'll have somebody with a huge super chat here. We have to appreciate the person. If you don't mind, then I'll come back to you on the panel if you're still speaking.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. A Soften Gray says, I would not be surprised if we get Simmons or Ganacho. Ganacho to Chelsea could still happen. It has one of those reports that have refused to go away. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but we're all concerned. And to be honest, from afar, we're all concerned about his shity attitude, which we don't know. United, for a while now, has been a mess, and chances are Garnacho's case is not in isolation. There are other players that have had issues with the current hierarchy, the managers they've had. Jadon Sancho, the other English international that joined Aston Villa on loan. Then Garnacho himself, they've all had issues with the hierarchy. So if anything, I'd say we don't really need him because Quenda will still come next season. You can say we're packed in that department. But that's by the way. Let's see. What else do we have here? Hi to you too. I thought the Maduke story was just a joke, but it's actually true. Yeah, I've always known that there's a chance he leaves. We see the man Umoneko. I haven't seen you for like 1,000 years. I'm not saying you're a vampire, but you get what I mean by that. I hope your absence simply means that you've been busy. If that's the case, I'm happy for you because bills don't pay themselves. But nice to see you once again. Thank you for joining. Morgan Rogers for me all day. Good. If we end up with Morgan Rogers, I'd be happy. If we end up with Xavi Simmons, I'd be happy too. Chelsea is only asking for 30 to 33 million for Viega. We paid 26. Still a good game, in my opinion. Let's see. I will say Xavi Simmons double-digit goals in the last 3 seasons. He's no longer a potential talent. He's a lot of experience. He's a good player. I like him. He gets you more goals than Rodgers, more assists actually than Rodgers, but I'll take either. The difference for me is just that Rodgers, with Rodgers, you can say you count off the risk of signing a player with non-Premier League experience. But that's actually not a guarantee that the player will hit the ground running. If you get that, at the beginning you say somebody asked you how long you will be celebrating. You should tell them 4 years to celebrate, as no one else will be crowned. But excellent. If we were streaming in the landscape format, I'd celebrate with balloons and everything and fireworks. I do love that comment. And thank you, Andrew Sabini. Sincerely do appreciate you for this. Wow, that's huge. £19. That's a lot of money. £20 in total, actually. That's not easy. Sincerely do appreciate you. That does go a long way for the community. Carefree wherever we may be. Thank you, Andrew. I cannot thank you enough. I appreciate you. Yes, let's keep celebrating. And if this is your first time here, Andrew, welcome to the Chelsea Perspective community. Feel at home, express yourself. Here, your opinion matters. What we do here, we interact, those on the panel and those in the chat. We try to come to a sensible conclusion. Just All we ask of you, just keep it civil, but welcome. Express yourself. Thank you, Andrew, for that donation. Greetings, world champions of Chelsea Football Club, Siaka, South Africa. I appreciate you saying that. There's no position clash between Jackson and Rogers. But he's going the other way, and you could argue Aston Villa, they need a number 9. Did they sign and did they replace what's his name? The kid that went to Saudi Arabia and now he's in Turkey now. And he's already having issues with Mourinho, missed training. Hello to you too, Rosaline Ngbahoro. That's an Igbo name. Rosaline Ngbahoro. And I know what that means actually. But Rosaline, nice to see you. Feel at home, express yourself. Unless somebody comes in with 100 million, he won't be sold. What does that tell you? That is reflective of the fact that Chelsea aren't looking to sell because I don't see anybody coming with 100 million. I want Jackson to stay. He's not a bad player. The only thing he needs to start doing is be consistent in front of goal, be efficient in front of goal, consistently, more importantly, and not be Nicolas Anelka today and tomorrow Darwin Nunes. That is his start. So this is a very important thing to highlight because we're asking 100 million simply tells you we're not looking to sell. It will take a lot to convince Chelsea to agree to sell Nicolas Jackson, which simply you could interpret to we don't want to sell him, except if he forces, if he expresses the desire to leave, then we'll have no option than to let him leave, which I don't think he will. He's already said he wants to stay and fight for his place. There are rumors that Chelsea FC is looking at a Šeško, which will be a perfect replacement for Nicolas Jackson. I like a Šeško, but right now, do I really think we need him? I'd say no. I'd rather we keep Jackson. Šeško in the Premier League, you don't know how it's going to pan out, especially from the Bundesliga. Yeah. But we're going to hear from Bobby and see if he has anything to add to that. We have Michael Uche. Where am I seeing lots of Igbo people here today? My people. Much love. Dial up, Michael Uche. Bobby, would you rather Benjamin Šeško or Nicolas Jackson? I'd rather we keep Nicolas Jackson. Benjamin Šeško, there's no guarantee he does well in the Premier League.
There again, these are the rumor mongers, coach. The whole thing doesn't even make sense. We've got Delat. He's just the same profile of player. Why would you get rid of Jackson, who could actually make a striking trio, and put somebody that would be a misfit? Makes no sense. People are just coming up with something like the Garnacho. We need to understand that Man United have media. They have a good media mill. And they've been trying to get rid of players, particularly those 5 players, for a while. And they're pushing him to anybody they think is capable of buying him at the price they want to sell him. They're making that rumor, not Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea are looking at Garnacho, to be honest. We've got enough young, as you said, Wender's coming. We've got Gittins, we've got Estevar. A lot of these players are still coming.
We got a lot of players that can play on either flanks.
Yeah.
It's not an area of priority for us.
And they're not going to be particular starters. I think, I've heard rumors he does things. He's got a social media presence. He's not got the best of attitudes. So I'll be surprised if we go there. When Chelsea's quiet like this, it tells me they're looking at something that maybe later on in the transfer window, they'll suddenly pounce and do the deal. I don't think it's a lot of the people that are being touted by some desperate guys. I mean, you can even the whole Garnacho thing. Not only is it Man United media, as Man United fans, and of course the gullible Chelsea fans that give it legs. I don't see that happening, Coach. And the ridiculous concepts of Chelsea getting rid of
giving them Jackson
for Sesko. Think about it. It just makes no sense.
No, it doesn't for
It's
me.
ridiculous. It's not even. How do you think the lap would feel? We've got our bullying number 9 striker. Whether anybody likes it or not, he's the guy. Any other striker come in will be somebody who could play a complementary or a flexible role, just like João Pedro. We have so many permutations. We could play Delap and Pedro. We could play Delap on his own. We could play Delap and Jackson. We could play Jackson on his own. We could play Jackson and Pedro. We could play Pedro on his own. We could play Pedro and Jackson. It's just the perfect situation to be in. We need to be unpredictable, and our squad depth has to be spot on this year, this season, unlike last season. So, to me, until I start to see real rumblings from the club, I can't see this. I'm struggling to see any sense in any of these rumors.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to give the microphone back to those of you in the chat, then come back to the panel so we can start addressing the rest of the items we have lined up. Michael Lucha, thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Hi, I'm a Liverpool fan from Nigeria. Liverpool fan, welcome. Thank you. If you want to be part of the conversation, you're welcome. And go check out our sister channel, Soccer Perspective. There we cover every club. So make sure to subscribe. So thank you, Sam, Liverpool fan. You're making a lot of signings. Yeah. And the latest news from Fabrizio Romano is that if you don't succeed in signing Isaac, then you will move for Ekitike, and you actually made a record bid for Isaac. I vote Eze to Chelsea Football Club. This should happen. I don't think it happens. I think we just made an inquiry. I'm not too sure. Like Bobby said, Houston,
I can't hear you, coach. You're muted. What's happened, coach?
all right, we had a system issue. Sincerely do apologize for that. It happens every now and then. And it looks like, as I promised you guys, um, we're definitely going back to what's it called? Um, StreamYard. It doesn't have all these bells and whistles that causes this the issue we are experiencing right now. So I sincerely do apologize. Let me share. Give me space, time, a bit of time. Let me share the presentation screen again. I see share. Let's fix it here. So I'm not sure what happened right there. I apologize. All right, I think we're back again. We have the presentation screen there. I want to take this to the upper area. All right, where were we? We were talking about comments. Let's go back here. Yeah, Bobby, we had an issue there. More likes, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Um, 18 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that. But yeah, we had issues, so the viewers have dropped it to 28. I think that will pick up again. Kimso United have Bomo and Kunha. I don't fear them, really. We need backup for Kukurea. That's where Jorrel Hato comes in. I think we will get that deal over the line. It doesn't look like there are other clubs interested in signing him currently. Arsenal, I heard, were interested, but it looks like we're serious about signing him. I don't believe the Lap and João Pedro will remain fit the whole season. The two of them, I think, were fine. Maybe you would end up keeping, what's his name? Mark Gee, because that kid is good. So it's better to have a third option available. Please keep Jackson. I want him to stay. And I think the club wants him to stay if we're to believe what we've read with regards to his future. But we'll see. Siaka South Africa, Patrick Christopher Nkunku might stay at Chelsea. I think, let's say 90 to 10%, even 95 to 5% leaning towards him leaving. Yeah, more importantly, his behavior off the ball is his biggest problem. It's one of the main reasons why he will. It'd be difficult for him to become a starter under Enzo Maresca. Honestly, Derek like he says, I also second that. We need to be careful with Jackson. We need to remember he led our line alone for a while. We know, yeah, he's good. Honestly, the only thing the lab has over him, you could say, efficient, more efficient in front of goal. Jackson does a lot more, right? It's just the only thing he needs to start doing: learn to shoot instinctively. Don't hesitate for even half a second. There are listen, and then be consistent, be efficient in front of goal consistently, and that's it. Jackson can drop deep. That Jackson can press effectively. Jackson can help. His defensive contributions are excellent, actually. So it's up to him to decide. I think Chelsea wants to keep him. The club wants to keep him, but it's up to him. The manager likes him too. It wasn't a mute; it was a system issue. Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, system issue, Bobby. I apologize for that. After 5 years, Maduke will not sign an extension at Arsenal. He will come back to Chelsea. I don't see him coming back to Chelsea. He's made that mistake. He'd have to be performing at an exceptional level for the club to say, okay, you know what, we can take you back. I don't see that happening. He's gone. He's gone. Had he gone, let's say, to Germany and start ripping up trees, and we have a new manager, and the new manager says, okay, I'll take you. But as long as Enzo Maresca is our manager, and it will take some out of this world performance for the manager to look at the club to say, okay, we can take you back. Mr. Kenny, thank you. I appreciate you. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The EPL teams are shaking it in their skins. They fear. That's the way I see it. Actually, the way we dismantled PSG, the so-called best club in the world. And please do not stop celebrating. We deserve that. It is not easy. When was the last time we won a major trophy? And in one season, we won two. Yeah, they said we weren't going to finish top four. We finished in the top six, actually. We finished top four. Won as many games as Arsenal, it's just that we lost a lot more. Yeah, they said in the finals we're going to meet a seasoned manager that we don't have a chance. We beat them. Convincingly, actually. It was a statement win. And then in the Club World Cup, the argument was that, yeah, easy path to the final. We got to the final, played against the so-called best team in the world, and then we made them look ordinary. And my bro is in the house, Mika. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join us. Thank you, my bro. Always nice to see you. I know you've been busy. Yep. Up the Chelsea, indeed. Yep. Up the Chelsea. Up the Chelsea. Come on, you Blues. Yep. Let's go. So, Bobby, anything else you want to add before we move to the next comment? All right, Bobby might have dozed off because it's really, really late for him. But that's by the way, Morgan Rogers, I take Xavi Simmons, but if I have to choose, I choose Simmons. More goals from him, more chances. I think he created. Let's look at it again. Let me not just be throwing numbers at you from my wazoo. There you go. Rogers in blue. Non-penalty goals from more non-penalty goals from Xavi Simmons.
I was
Rogers
trying to unmute, coach.
Okay. Rogers edges him in terms of dribbles. Siemens ball carrying, which helps a lot, will help a lot in terms of dealing with low blocks and then transition also. Crosses a lot more, not a lot more, more from Siemens. Key passes more from Morgan Rogers. Assists pretty much the same, but a little more from Rogers. But I take Simmons in my opinion. But Bobby, anything else you want to say before we move on to the next item?
Yeah, I'm quite skeptical about German league player stats. I really am.
Let's transition into the Premier League, right?
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it would be Morgan Rogers simply because he's Premier League proven. Um, Simmons, this, his stats in that league is suspect. I mean, Timo Werner had excellent stats in that league for that same team, and look what happened. So I'm not too carried away with that. Just as a side note, I think a team that I'm keeping my eye on for the Premier League is indeed Arsenal. They've gone for physicality totally this transfer window. They really are stockpiling physical beasts. And to get Gyökeres, we can't ignore them at all. The only thing I say is that if we stay fit, because we've never played them with a fit team, if we stay fit and we get our squad depth correct, I think we could cause them problems. They may have the physicality, but we have a lot of technicality, and we're not really investing in players that are too weak anymore either. So, but they do really, really look dangerous.
Obviously, let's just look at Liam Delap and João Pedro. A few months after joining Chelsea, they won a major trophy already. They look back and say, "Wow, glad I chose
Yeah,
Chelsea over the other clubs that were interested in signing me, Bobby." I want to hear you talk about that.
yeah.
And Jean Pedro in an interview said, yeah, he knew Chelsea is the place because yeah, he wanted to come to Chelsea because he wanted to win stuff. And you can see the way he laughed when again at the end of that his response to that interview question showed that was authentic. He
Yeah,
was just saying it for
there's
the sake
a
of it.
yeah. I mean, as I said, I was talking to somebody today about football, and he is indeed an Arsenal fan and a really diehard Arsenal fan. And he was saying that João Pedro is a special player, and the reason why people weren't hearing so much about him was that he was with Watford and then with Brighton. And with all due respect, Brighton aren't going to create and give as many chances as Chelsea. We create a lot of chances. It's just the likes of Jackson and Noni. We're missing them. Um, but we create a lot of chances, and as it shows, uh, João Pedro is clinical. You give him chances, and he will finish them. As will Liam Delap. So
Could have
that
scored
and
two against PSG. You can say, and he did
yeah,
everything right, but was just unlucky on the day.
he was unlucky because Donnarumma managed to get his hand to it, and Donnarumma is is a specimen. His wingspan is ginormous. So I can't blame him for any of those chances that were. I wouldn't even say they were missed; they were saved. So yeah, I mean, the difference we have now with our strikers is finishing, and this is what I was saying about Jackson. Jackson's game will benefit from this if he takes up the mantle and believes in himself and goes for it. His aim next season should be to perform so well as to bench both his I don't know what to call them. They're not competitors really, but they are rivals for the number 9 spot. And that can only be good for Chelsea because that means he will start focusing on his technique in scoring goals. If, as I said, if Jackson scores goals, he's a monster. He
Yeah.
becomes a monster.
Yeah. Let's give those in the chat the microphone. We'll come back. We still have a few items lined up. Hopefully, Bobby will still be awake. And we have Siaka South Africa says, as much as I want Jackson to leave, Jackson gone, I fear he'd do better at another club. But hey, if he remains at Chelsea, he will be a third option. I don't think so. Here's one thing people aren't paying attention to. Jackson can actually start in the same game alongside what's his name,
Dylan
Liam Delap.
or
Their
even
profiles
Pedro.
are different. He can actually
Mm.
start in the same game also with João Pedro because we play with a fluid approach, which is the way the manager wants to play. So I don't think he'd be playing second fiddle to anybody. The manager, if anything, here's the correct way to see it. The manager now has the luxury to do things differently depending on the opposition. And we've learned, some of us who thought the manager was, you can say, a one trick pony manager. I think we've learned over time that actually how we play depends on who we play against, and who starts depends on who we play against. So I don't think, no, he's going to play. The manager likes him. As much as I like the lab, I think Jackson Press is better. They have what they do better than the other because they have complementary skills, in my opinion. We want to keep them, and I'm happy what we've heard from the club, whether you call it brief or anything. We want to keep them. The fact that we're asking for 100 million pounds shows we're not looking to sell him. All right, but let's see what happens. Up Charles, Joe Crown. Nice to see you, Mr. Joe. Thank you for joining us. And my bro here, Mikhail Sells. Jackson might blossom with others scoring, coach. Yeah, I believe so. Not bad as a third option this season, especially of a build up. Yeah, because he is excellent at build up plays. He has good control, can track back effectively. His defensive contribution is actually great. He can play on the flanks, he can play centrally. Why sell him? And I think we know that. But I think if he eventually leaves Chelsea, it'd be because he wants to leave. But at the moment, he said openly he wants to stay and fight for his place. And that's what big clubs do. I'm just happy we're not looking to sell him, honestly. So I agree with you. It's not bad to have, even if the case, even if it becomes, yeah, if he stays, he's going to be the third choice or second choice. It doesn't really matter. Having him as a Chelsea player still, I think, will go a long way. It takes such squad depth to win trophies. In his first season, he did beat Didier Drogba's record, but a lot of us aren't paying attention to that. But let's see what happens. Siaka South Africa, Brighton FC is Chelsea FC. I think we're more of actually Man City Academy FC than Brighton FC. But you know what? If we want any more players from Brighton, go get them. I'm all for it. And I've told them on X, if they restock, they should reach out and let us know. We bring the money, they give us the talent. Even Robert Sanchez does look like a good signing these days. Aha, Kimso, I got you. Madueke to Arsenal. Good luck to him. I'm gonna leave it at that. If he does well, fine. I'm not gonna complain too much. But let's see what happens. One thing that gives me hope is they hardly ever win anything whenever they sign players from Chelsea. Petr Cech did win FA Cup with them, didn't he? I think that's it. Who else have joined Arsenal from Chelsea and won anything. Yeah. So, but that's by the way, you did say something about the behavior, or let me use a more relatable language, the attitude of Xavi Simon. You have to elaborate. That was on Instagram, right? Let's hear you. You have to
I,
elaborate.
s- I saw it on X.
You saw it on X too that he has attitude issue.
Um, oh, which player are we talking about?
Xavi Simons.
Oh, no, no, no. I thought it was Garnacho for some reason.
Oh no, no,
Um,
Ganaches is everywhere, really.
Xavi Simmons, I don't know. The only thing I know was that on this platform, I think it was Dante that was saying he's kind of lightweight. So I don't know. I'm still not convinced about that story. I think it's just a bit of a smokescreen, if you get me. But
But you don't trust who was that reports his story? Who reports Ben
Vince,
Jacobs? I trust him when it comes to Chelsea, really.
yeah. But when it's an obscure story like that, unless it's backed up by Ornstein, I can't really see any legs in it.
Hmm. All right, let's see. My bro here has something else to say. Chelsea Perspective channel of choice for the champions of the world for 4 years.
Yeah.
I forgot what Mikael said when we were talking
But
about it privately. Will be unbearable for 4 years. And I did see a
yeah,
post on X that says Chelsea fans are winning trophy arguments against every club in the world. It doesn't matter who you are. We're the best club in the world at least for 4 years. Go ahead, Bobby. You
yeah,
were going to add something to that.
yeah. I was saying that it seems that the automatic qualification I thought would make sense for the previous winner to go and defend the trophy at the CWC next time around. It seems that's not the case. It seems you still have to qualify through your performance in the Champions League, which is a bit odd.
Yeah, honestly. Listen, what's this? What happened here? Okay, there you go. Let's see what else we have here. Microphone back to those of you in the chat, and I'm seeing my friend, my Canadian sister, is in the chat. I wish we're streaming in landscape format. I would have popped the balloon and fireworks. But yeah, thank you for that. No, no nachos, please. We've been over this already, and unfortunately, the story isn't going away, and that's why Chelsea fans are concerned. But here's one that's not believable to me. I'm not going to even consider analyzing it. Is that we're looking at for a swap deal involving Nachos joining us and Nicolas Jackson going to Manchester United. I don't believe that in any way. So Kimso says, yeah, PSG fans complained a lot because of his behavior. He's entitled. Look, okay, he's entitled. Look what he's doing to Leipzig, of forcing a move. I don't know. If he's forcing a move to Chelsea, I think we're going to tie him down for a lengthy contract, and he's not going to just say he wants to leave and would let him go. I'm not concerned. He's a good player. More importantly, that's all that matters to me. Honestly. 23 likes, people. We can do a lot better than 23 likes. We have 60 people watching now, 35. But why are we stuck in 35 likes? 23 likes, actually. But the truth remains, whenever we stream in vertical format, people usually don't see the bells and whistles. So press and hold your screen for just about a second. Then you see the bells and whistles, which includes like, comment, share options. So please do that for us. We'd really appreciate that. We still beg for likes because we're not a big account yet, and the likes does go a long way. Starvis asking, can someone tell me how many domestic goals Drogba scored at age 26 in his first 2 seasons? 10 and 12. Jackson, age 22, scored 17 and 10. Jackson is still a novice compared to Drogba when he arrived. But unfortunately, Chelsea fans, they don't see that. And I'm going to say this. I like Jackson. He's a good player. Does a lot very well. Just needs to improve. And yeah, he will improve with time. He will improve. The only thing he needs to start doing, be efficient in front of, be efficient consistently in front of goal, and that's that. And maybe learn to shoot instinctively and not hesitate at all, which can happen. His second season for me, I think he did come across as a much better player, barring the fact that yeah, he got injured and was out for a while and all that. I think we need to give him a chance. I'm just happy. I'm not worried. I'm not moved by the reports I'm seeing out there with regards to his future, or suggesting that he's weighing up his futures. His future. I don't believe that. The club, they've signaled we don't want you to go. They can push him to leave, which he said openly that he wants to stay. I hope he stays. Hi to you too, Miss Melina. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Looks like you've been absent on X for a while now. I hope everything is good on your end, my friend and sister. Always nice to see you. Thank you for joining. If winning Club World Cup with us, if winning Club World Cup wins us a Ganacho, that's under that's underwhelming. I agree. But let's just believe that everything we're hearing, that they're all rumors. But the truth is, it's concerning given the fact he has refused to go away, and the player himself keeps saying he, how he wants to stay in the Premier League. That's concerning. And that a certain report did mention specifically that we're aware that he prefers remaining in the Premier League, and I don't like that. But all right, here's this. People go and subscribe to Miss Melina's YouTube channel. She covers all the EPL clubs and beyond, and the link is there. And her knowledge of football is exceptional. You'd like to listen to her. It's objective, even though he's an Arsenal fan. She's an Arsenal fan, an enemy, but yeah, I want to be friends with somebody with good football knowledge and somebody that's a good person, more importantly. So go check out her YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let her know I sent you. Hope you're all doing well. I can't complain. I can't complain, and thank you for stopping by. Really, Arsenal don't win anything when they hardly ever. Yeah, I think it's only one exception. There may be others that I cannot recall. Czech did win the FA Cup with them, didn't he, Bobby? Any other name you can recall that moved from Chelsea to Arsenal and won something? But check how many players have moved from Arsenal to Chelsea. How many? All of them have won something. I can't remember one that joined from Arsenal that didn't win anything. Ashley Cole. What's his name? Why am I thinking about them like this?
Because they're not me.
Not many that moved
They're
from
not many
Arsenal to
at
Chelsea
all.
that won something.
Oh, that won something. Yeah. Oh, that won something. No, they're not many. I think Petr Cech's the only one I can certainly think
No,
of.
that moved from Arsenal to Chelsea, vice versa.
Oh, and no. Oh, of course, they always win something with
Why am I
Chelsea.
finding it difficult to remember them as if it's difficult? Ash, there was Ashley Cole, right? Who else?
Yeah.
Okay, Olivier Giroud. Who else? Why am I not remembering them?
Um. Ashley Cole. Yes, that's true.
I named Ashley Cole, Olivier
He
Giroud.
became a Chelsea legend. Giroud. Yes, another one. Of course. No, not Noni. Uh, yeah, that's all I can think of at the moment with my
But
sleepy head.
okay, but they've signed a whole lot of players from Chelsea, and not only one, but Tachek is the only person I remember that won something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So let's see. Michael agreeing with you. Says Bobby defending champions should get automatic qualification, but it's not that. I think it's complicated, really. Unfortunately, I thought we were going to be there to defend the trophy, irrespective of how we finish in the Premier League or whether we end up winning the Champions League or not. But unfortunately, it's not like that. Rabba Taha, I remember that name and I love it so much. Hello to you too. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you for finding the time to join us. It's been a minute, and I hope your absence simply means that you've been busy. If that's the case, we're happy for you because we understand bills don't pay themselves. Where does Gittins play if we get Rogers? It doesn't matter. A fluid approach on the left mainly. Yeah, and he can always drift inwards to do his thing. Maybe Jackson will learn from watching a Pedro and the lab. Yeah, yeah. And I think eventually he stays. Rabataha, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Let's see. I just heard Edison from City is available for just a 2 million. Can Chelsea make the move up to Maresca? He wouldn't be a bad signing, but I don't think the City will let him go right now. In all honesty, Kuku needs to rest. The CFC must purchase the Ajax player in left back Jorrel Hato, who's also capable of playing. Left centre back. Bobby, we missed one. Cesc Fabregas. It wasn't a straight move. He went to Barcelona before coming back to the Premier League. Arsenal had the opportunity to re-sign him. They refused, and he joined Chelsea and won stuff at Chelsea. So yeah, that's a popular one. How could I have forgotten that? But Mikhail, thank you for remembering him. Sesk, yeah. Let's see. Morgan Rogers, we've talked about that. And here, Enzo Fernandez, the midfield maestro. A lot of Chelsea fans Chelsea fans weren't happy. Some Chelsea fans weren't happy that the club sold what's his name, Conor Gallagher. Some of them wanted Enzo Fernandez to be sold instead, and I hated that. They just don't respect him, or maybe don't understand how he applies himself on the pitch. But this guy, what a signing he's been for us. I get it. He may not have scored 300 goals, but it'd be stupid not to recognize what a player he's been for us, really. Look at those numbers. Yeah, focus of success against Leicester City, a rating of 9.0, against Southampton, a rating of 8.8, rate against Noah FC 8.6, against Villarreal 8.2 rating, against Tottenham 8.1. Wow. Matches played in total 53 second, goal involvement 26 second. So what a player he's been, honestly. But I think a lot of people are starting to realize what the signing, he is, and his importance. More importantly, I think Chelsea, as title holders, should not be guaranteed a place in the Club World Cup in 2029. But Chelsea must be there by winning the Champions League. Do I think we can? I think we can. But that's a question, more importantly, for the players managers to answer, because we haven't signed that many. Exactly. That's why I realized that was the case. It says already won things at Barcelona. I told you he doesn't count. I think he counts. He was an Arsenal player. In my opinion, he came back to the Premier League and didn't go back to Arsenal, but joined Chelsea. For me, I'd say he counts, but there's no you can say established criteria with which to judge that. How you judge it depends on how you want to. That's how I see it. Anelka was the best player who played for Chelsea among all the players who played for Arsenal. Yeah, Anelka too did play for Arsenal. But he won something at Chelsea, but he won something at Arsenal too, didn't he? So yeah. Was he part of the Invisibles? I can't quite remember when he played for Arsenal, or whether he won anything for Arsenal. I can't quite remember. But he won something at Chelsea, did he not? Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't you see the Gittins, man? He's just unstoppable. What do we need Garnacho for? Gittins is a fine player in my opinion. Better option at the time. People would compare. People wanted Chelsea players who wanted more flashier names, such as Simmons. I think they were. We were mentioning Simmons at the time, and even Nico Williams. And I did tell people Nico Williams, if anything, more experience, and his exploits. You could argue Chelsea fans at the time weren't able to look beyond Nico Williams' exploits in the Euros to realize actually that what's his name? That Jamie Gittins finished the season a much better player. I don't think it'd be right to say much better. The better player of the two. Top 1% in terms of successful dribbles in world football, but not as popular as Nico Williams. Nico Williams, the more flashier and more popular name. You could argue, which was why a lot of people were would rather the club sign him than Gittins. But I'm glad we signed Gittins. I think he's a much better of the two players. What else do we have here? Ashley Cole won the okay, he won, but won a lot more at Chelsea, the Champions League. Yeah. So there's still a good argument to be made. So RB Leipzig and Stuttgart have expressed their interest in Chelsea forward Armando Broja. Good luck to him. Quite unlucky, really. Quite unlucky. Had the opportunity to get the chance to play tons of game at Chelsea, got injured again. Hardly ever stays fit when you need them, unfortunately. There's a talent there. He might well still get a chance to ignite or to start to show the sort of level he showed before the injuries that plagued his. It doesn't have to be straight from Arsenal. Let's say, let me just use former Arsenal players that have played for Arsenal that we signed. Maybe that'd be the correct language. I know you like context. But go away. All right. Armando Broja, I had high hopes for him. And here's the thing, something that I remember that made me laugh. I think it was CBS pundits. The two masters was on panel the day the other master said, I think it was Robbie of the two, this Robbie master and the other one, that said that Broja will become a better player for Chelsea than Nicolas Jackson. Even though at the time I knew Jackson still had, again, Jackson had a long way to go. I couldn't stop laughing. Nah, listen, that may well happen, but at the time, I'm not sure what led to Robbie saying that that day. But jokes aside, good luck to Armando Broja. I hope he rediscovers the form he showed at the time. I hope so. Let's see. An Arsenal fan named Ty has created the title which only exists in his head, which makes Arsenal the best team in the world. Yeah, they're just delusional, and they know. But if you ask a more objective content Arsenal content creators, they tell you we just can't match them. But some of them, driven by their loyalty to the club they support, will always tell you that Arsenal is the bigger club in London and the best club in the world. But you know they're just being a typical fan. I don't expect them to say otherwise, but from a content creator that has a YouTube channel, if you say Arsenal is a bigger club or in the it's the best club in the world, you're just being delusional and you're not being objective. And as a content creator, you should learn to be objective. Yeah, there's no argument that nothing that justifies that Arsenal is the best, even the best club in London. Maybe we can sell Broja to Arsenal. They're not interested. They're not. It's not going to happen. And apologies, I see you actually retracted the message, but on the main screen here, I don't see that. Let's see, Morgan Rogers for 80 million or Xavi Simons for 55. Xavi Simons, better deal. You can say also more versatile in terms of his ability to not just fulfill the number 10 role, but able to play on the flanks more. Rogers can also play on the flanks, but I think what's his name? I think Morgan Rogers, yeah, that what's his name? Xavi Simons more. You could say more versatile than Morgan Rogers, but with whichever of the two players we end up with, I'd be happy. It's still a win. Both are good players. If anything, the edge of the fact that that Rogers has Premier League experience, he edges it from the perspective of a lot of people that if you ask when you ask them to decide on which player we should push to sign, for me, Premier League experience is no guarantee that the player does well at Chelsea. Chelsea carries a different measure of pressure, which you could argue the reason why Drusbel Hall he struggled to live up to expectations, but he might still get there. And it's a good thing that we're not looking to sell him. And I'm quite sure the manager will tell him your time will come because we have a lot games to play. In his first season at Chelsea, he's won 2 major trophies. That's not easy. I think he would want to stay. But maybe if he has the dream of playing representing England, he may well seek to go to a club where he gets to play week in, week out. There are clubs like that in the Premier League. Whether that happens, I don't know. I digress. Sorry about that. Start is saying, so are we now going to say left Chelsea and let one things at Arsenal? I don't know if there's any player, whether they left Chelsea, whether they played for Chelsea, end up playing for Arsenal and won something serious, just let us know. It doesn't matter. No established criteria with which to judge that. So let's use a general term, maybe a general term. If that player played for Chelsea at any time and then later on end up at Arsenal winning something, count. But even at that, you won't find too many. Chelsea need more players. The way Hazard was, so I would prefer Xavi Simons to Morgan Rogers. Right now, it doesn't matter to me, honestly. Rugged Frankie, I am so comfortable with players from uncomfortable or comfortable. I'd say uncomfortable in my case, but you may be comfortable. I don't think we've been lucky with players from Bundesliga. Balak did well, he's a well experienced in the prime before he joined us. But look at Kai Havertz, didn't really do well at Chelsea. Did well in Europe for us overall, in my opinion. Even what's his name? Timo Werner did well in Europe for us overall. Both actually only struggled in the Premier League. So I don't know whether it'd be correct to say, yeah, the pattern we've seen of how players are from Bundesliga, specifically attacking players, how they do in the Premier League. I don't know whether that say we have enough sample size to conclude that that be you can say a good reason not to sign players from the Premier League to or sign players or not to sign players from the Bundesliga. Arsenal tie is the biggest. Jesus Christ! All right, I'm not reading that, man. Just leave me alone. Okay. Uh, Uncomfortable. Okay, now I get it because more people. Here's the rugged Frankie. A lot of people would say uncomfortable, so that's more sounds more like it. All right, 29 likes. We can do a lot better than that. Let's see there. I think we've looked at this. Maybe I went back a bit on. Yeah, we've seen that too. And Nicolas Jackson is on Manchester United's short list. Nothing advanced yet, but they are closely monitoring Jackson's situation. Is it even important to say if you're going to tell us they're closely monitoring his situation, does it even make sense to say nothing is advanced? But that's, by the way, we have the report on the screen. Nicolas Jackson to Manchester United. I don't know. I don't think it happens, but that's just my opinion anyway. I know plenty of Chelsea fans want him gone, but how about you consider that having him at the club is a huge plus? Even if he ends up becoming a squad player, which I don't think is possible, I think he gets to play a lot because he's different. And this year, from Bobby Vincent, a subsequent report with regards to Nicolas Jackson's future, a reason Nicolas Jackson is very much expected to stay in all caps. Pay attention to that. Let me highlight that maybe. Nicolas Jackson is very much expected to stay at Chelsea. There's clear interest in him, though, to be clear. Chelsea's valuation is likely to be too expensive for most. Chelsea plans on having two out and out number nines and a versatile forward to choose from this season. So we're not looking to sell him. We are definitely not looking to sell Nicolas Jackson, and I've talked about that 1,000 times, which is why you could argue the valuation is 100 million pounds, not even euros plus. And I don't see any club saying, yeah, we're willing to pay that. Has Estevao been unveiled officially as a Chelsea player? No, I think probably should be looking out for I mean what's it called? What's the language I'm looking for? Announcement video. I know, but we did announce that we signed them, but I don't think there's been a proper announcement yet. I don't think so. I don't think there's been a proper announcement yet. Maybe we will, but let's see. What else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Sincerely, do have all finding the time to join the show. We've been streaming for 1 hour 55 minutes, and it's been an excellent conversation, in my opinion. All right, what do we have here? Yeah, I wouldn't say an official. Official announcement. Yeah, we did get that, but no, nothing like that wasn't accompanied with you can say a video, just like the case of Noni Madueke and the other players. But let's see what happens. I'd like to see one, just to maybe to reignite the excitement. Hopefully Chelsea selling. I don't think he goes anywhere, unfortunately. But I know a lot of Chelsea fans want him gone. Whether that happens, I don't know. So let's go news hunting. I like to go news hunting on my bros Twitter feed. Vince, one of the biggest Chelsea accounts, and yeah, as objective as can be. Lucilla saying, I read somewhere that he's about to land in London. Chelsea has sent a private jet. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, let him land. We need to reignite the excitement. Cole Palmer at the Club World Cup. So we're going news hunting now. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat section. I'll try to address it. And warning, do not ask any difficult questions. If you do, I'll pretend I can't see it. All right. Cole Palmer at the World Cup matches played 6, goals 3, assists 2, big chances created 4, shots per game 3.50, key passes per game 2, successful dribbles per game 2.17, long ball accuracy 88.9. An excellent outing for him, even though you can argue, but my goodness, I've heard people argue that he goes missing in big games, but he was brilliant in the final. I think, if anything, he's proven just get to the final and make sure he's on the pitch. And Chelsea are definitely going to win that final. He was just a different player in that final, in my opinion. Let's see. More likes, people. More likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Siaka South Africa says, TBR Football understands that Chelsea have still not given up on England star Morgan Rogers and believe they can still strike a deal with Aston Villa. Chelsea have players that could move to Villa. And one player that comes to mind is Nicolas Jackson, given the fact that he played on the good evening in Spain. Sergeant Rattrive would never sanction 100 million for one player. Yep. So the valuation of Nicolas Jackson simply means that we're not looking to sell. I don't think he would. Yeah, you're paying good attention, staff. They are penny pinching. They're not looking to spend a lot. I think they're copying our model, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna say, given this, honestly, just make it to a final, and irrespective of how bad Cole Palmer may be in the group stages, knockout stages, just make sure he's on the pitch in the final, wins it for you. Really, that honest. Palmer stats are good. Yep, excellent. Wasn't that good in the group stages, but in the final, wow. One just with one performance in the final, he won player of the competition. Give it to him. Estevao is a Chelsea player now. He's on holiday, like the rest of the squad, and comes back together. But I was expecting to see, a different one. So I've heard people argue that Palmer isn't a big game player. He is. He proves, actually. Again, I couldn't ask for more. Again, what sort of big game do you want him to play in and perform as well he's done, for you to realize he's actually a big game player? Big game player. Yep. Euro 2020. 2024. Yep. A rating of 7.3 against that was against Spain. And then Conference League final 8.4. Chelsea won 4-1, and then the FIFA Club World Cup final a rating of 9.5. Chelsea won 3-0, and you still see people tell it, most especially the rival fans and some Chelsea fans actually. You see them argue that he's not a big game player. What more do you need to see really to realize he's the biggest game player? I don't know what else, what other way to phrase it. Bobby, if anytime you want to come in, I know it's late for you, but if you doze off, that's fine by me. Hello everyone, it's been an age. It's Olu Paulo. Let me sound like an Igbo man there. Where have you been? Hopefully, your absence simply means that, yeah, you've been busy. And if that's the case, we're happy for you. Bills don't pay themselves. But always nice to see you, bro. I appreciate you finding time to be with us. Jackson should stay and fight for his place, which, again, we've heard him say he wants to do that. He's an African warrior. During the days of Drogba, we had Good Johnson, Crespo, Pizarro, Shevchenko, so to speak, Fernando Torres, but he would suit the weather. And in some cases, you had him, one of those names you mentioned, on the pitch at the same time. Hi to you too, Joseph. Oh, Hanlon. Nice to see you, Mr. Joseph. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. So, what else do we have here? News hunting. Robert Sanchez. That's another interesting conversation. And I did read something on X to the effect of when Enzo Maresca was asked about inconsistent performances from last season, sometime last season, because he did finish the season strong and was excellent in the Club World Cup. And his response was something to the effect of, he's an interesting one, that he'd save you a lot more points and he'd make mistakes. And at the Club World Cup, for me, he had an excellent outing. And if he can continue in that trajectory, I think he should remain the number one. Unfortunately, I was one of those that was calling for the club to look to push to sign another goalkeeper. But here's the thing: him and Philip Jorgensen, they've quietly actually gone about their business and they've been Philip Jorgensen instrumental in us winning the Conference League. He was excellent between the sticks in the final of the Conference League, and had it not been for his brilliance, we could have finished the first half in that game 3 goals down. So both are actually good. In the case of Jorgensen, very young and can only get better. Yeah, because goalkeepers find one. Will Maresca play tactics like he did in the final more often? It depends on who we play against. Sometimes, again, I don't think it works for every game. Because man marking, as effective as it can be dangerous. If you play it against a very seasoned side, well-drilled side, they beat the press and you get into trouble. But we didn't use only one approach on that day. I think we changed things up to 3 times actually. Pay attention to what happened. But I think who we play against depends on how we apply ourselves on the pitch, and he's proven that that's the case. And the biggest issue, and I just have to talk about this. I apologize for that. The biggest lie within the Chelsea community is that he's one trick pony. He's not. The basics, the hallmark of his approach remain the same, which overload areas ensure we have numerical advantage over the opposition at any given time. But beyond that, there are things we do differently up front and in the defensive area. If you paid attention against PSG, you see how we're swapping places. It was Colwell that created Cole Palmer's second goal. And he was in the midfield area, and Caicedo was back defending. So everything is coming together. Things are falling into place at the right moment. And I think that winning the Club World Cup, I think we'll have a good season. How good? Let's see how we finish, what we do in the transfer market, and I'll tell you how good. But boy, as Bobby did say when we won the Conference League, they've tested blood. And believe me, they would want to win a lot more. So let me finish reading what Mikhail has here. When Maresca play the same tactics, like again, the tactics like he did in the final, it depends on the opposition. It was refreshing to see Sanchez ascending the ball longer over and over, and he was good at it. Nearly perfect to perfection. Really, he made less mistakes than usually. Yeah, than he usually does. Consequently, a brilliant performance from him on the day. He didn't look like he was ready to concede. Even point blank shots, saves. It was refreshing. Yeah. It was also refreshing to see Marudin fullbacks. Did I pronounce that correctly? As opposed to inverting and the attackers are falling back to give cover. And I remember one incident in particular, one occasion in particular, maybe where João Pedro, no, Pedro Neto tracked back, followed Hakimi, and had he not done that, I think we would have considered the first goal in the game actually. But he tracked him back and had to head the ball back to Robert Sanchez. Probably he would have hated to do that because he would have liked to stay up front, get a goal or two, but he sacrificed him. Again, his the way he applies himself on the pitch to do that. We were well drilled, well prepared for that. The team probably, in my opinion, probably came to that final with the mindset, yeah, that they've already won that after beating all the big names they had beaten in the previous stages of the competition. But yeah, Robert Sanchez, I think he stays. And you could argue the club and the manager, they've always known that he's a good goalkeeper if he can find a way to overcome the lapses in concentration that we see from him every now and then. I think he's an excellent shot stopper. And I am inclined to believe what I read that yeah, he's that sort of goalkeeper that will earn you more points from the saves he'd make than lose you can points that will lead to you not being as successful as successful as you would be from his mistakes. So I'm just happy that he stays. Even more chance, and he's becoming better. Actually, at first, he doesn't orchestrate a lot of high claims, but towards from mid-season towards the end of the season, and in the Club World Cup, a lot of high claims from him, which which helped us deal with set piece situations. You can argue maybe the set piece coach urged him to come out more, to come out off his line more and orchestrate high claims to help us deal with set piece situations. So I am happy with him. Let's see what happens. And the club seems to be happy with him, really, which was why we didn't push more to get the deal to get Mayer to sign the club. And before then, we were actually told we're not looking to sign a goalkeeper, but if we see a good opportunity, we'd do it. Our worry with Oscar was his stubbornness with tactics, like Sari, but in the Club World Cup, especially in the final, he showed flexibility. Thankfully, restoring a hope for the future. Houston, there's one thing I like about him. I think he's humble. He's said openly the players are learning, and he, the manager, is also learning. And you could say the way he's changed over time since joining Chelsea. Say, yeah, that's correct. Um, I like that from him. I like that from him, and that's reflective of the fact that he's humble. He's not. So I've seen people call him arrogant, but he isn't really. He's humble. He might have probably he's you could say he's not the best speaker in the room. Maybe sometimes you could say we interpret what he we could say maybe doesn't in the past didn't know how the best way to get his point across, which has led to people interpreting it the wrong way. And You know, who said what? Who said what? I'm listening. But he's humble. Yeah, he said that. Yeah, he did say he's learning. He's learning a lot about his team, and as a manager, he's learning a lot. He did say that. Look for it. I'm not kidding. I didn't make that up. I'm guessing that's what. Yeah, he did say that. But people, again, here's what the biggest one of the biggest issues with regards to how Chelsea fans see him or respect him or trust him as a manager. It's difficult to look beyond the fact that he was a championship manager. That yeah, that the last team he coached because before becoming Chelsea manager was Leicester City. It was difficult for people to look beyond that to accept that yeah, he's actually an intelligent manager. He's progressive. I like that, but he's proven himself, and I know some still have doubts, but we'll see. I've always said them. I didn't give up because yeah, I was able to look beyond the fact that yeah, the last club he managed before joining Chelsea was Leicester City. I paid attention to the fact that he's worked with Pep Guardiola in the season where they won four trophies. He was his assistant manager. And some at the time was saying that he was, you could say, pivotal to everything that they won at the time. And the truth, I don't think Pep would accept having you as his assistant manager if you don't bring anything important to the table. For lack of a more relatable language there, but you get what I'm trying to say. If you're asking if that question, if you're referring to what I said about Maresca, he did say that, yeah, that he's still learning as a manager and still learning about more about his players, and his players are still learning. He did say something to that effect. Quite sure I'm not misquoting anybody. Okay, this year, no player outperformed their expected goals XG tally more than João Pedro. He accumulated an XG of 0.85 during his three appearances and found the net three times. That's excellent, really. But dang it! But I learned something. Something I think he said that showed that he has good heads on his shoulders. When Watford got relegated, he didn't push to leave them. He could have gone out on loan, but he chose to stay with them with the mindset that players who can that the Champions League does help prepare players to do well in the Premier League, given how difficult it is. So, which was why he chose to stay with them before into Brighton. So he's an intelligent player. I think Newcastle were also interested, but he chose Chelsea. And yeah, he'd look back and tap himself. You can say he's Chelsea and say, "Yeah, I made the right decision." Sanchez will come under more pressure and physicality in the EPL than the Club World Cup, but he finished the season well. And good night, 3 a.m. staff. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. I think we'll be rounding up soon. I'm tired. It's 7:30 p.m. for me. It's been an excellent news roundup show, and I think we've read a lot of comments with regards to Noni Madueke's departure. Bobby, anything else you want to say before we call it a day?
It's um, it's a long way to go to the start of the season. There's very little transfer dealings left for us to do, to be honest. And I just hope when that dealing happens, I just hope we take it by two hands
Mhm.
and get a lot out of it. Um, one more year used to playing each other in the Premier League. That's where my mind is at. I never think too far ahead because it's very hard to then go from ordinary thinking and discussions to just
Mhm.
pure speculation.
Yeah, and I have a question from my friend here that asks a question: do you think Chelsea may make a move for Meya, or at least try again. I don't know if it'd be correct to say probably they already have a pre-contract in place. I'm not sure that'd be correct. But Heston, at the time, he did tell his AC Milan boss, let me join Chelsea or I will run down my contract and leave as a free agent. So I don't know. I don't think we're desperate to sign a new goalkeeper, which simply means we're not gonna go back there even to pay anything close to how much we were willing to pay at the time. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. But here's the thing: if Donnarumma decides to leave PSG, I think a lot changes. That's just my opinion. I'm speculating here. I'm not sure that's going to be the case because for Mayor, France is home and he's good. Again, his distribution is excellent. He's good with his feet, good sweeper keeper, and his experience. I think Luis Enrique will probably tell PSG to go get him, and the possibility of that happening is there. And I think if he has the possibility to join, if he has the option to join PSG and Chelsea, options to join PSG or Chelsea, I think he chooses PSG. He's not getting any younger, and PSG, for me, they're strong enough to win a lot more trophy in the future. So does Chelsea, but PSG is home, more importantly. So I don't know whether we'd make a late move for him. I don't know because Sanchez, he's earned a lot of respect. And we have Sanchez, Jorgensen, Bobby. Who's the third goalkeeper now? I don't know really. And it's still there. It's still a possibility. I'm not gonna lie, but whether it happens, I honestly do not know. It's a difficult one, but he's a good player. If we go for him, I'd love it. If Sanchez, I hope Sanchez stays and competes with them, and plus have a lot of games to play. So he will play. Sanchez will also get to play. But I'd like us to sign him. He brings experience, leadership, and all that. Good night to you too. Good night, Bobby, and good night, Blues. Good night, champions of the world. Good night, Stacy. I'm not sure who you're calling Stacy here. Okay. Good night, champions of UEFA Conference League. Good night to the biggest spoiler club in the world. Thank you. And good night, champions of the world. Remember to play the Let's Count Our Trophies to Sleep. I'm going to play that song, but it will start with an older one we have, and I'll switch to that one. So I think we've come to the natural end of the show, and I appreciate my bro, Mikhail, for joining. I cannot thank you enough. And my friend and sister, Canadian sister, Miss Melina, thank you. Always nice to see you. We had Kim So in the chat, and Joseph, thank you for joining. Who else was here? NCACA South Africa was also here. Ty was here. And Stav was here. And Rugged Frankie was here. Azo Ali and Rugged Frankie. Yep. If I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar. We rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. to the chance. Paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew. Born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue, through the silence and the roar. Still blue, even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shed and crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance. Paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew. Born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the